So good morning students. Today we are discussing about 10th class biology in transportation and the topic is evolution of the transport system. Nothing but already you know that evolution nothing but gradually changing. So evolution is, we can simply understand that changes, gradually changes, either those changes are decreases or increases, that is called evolution. And let us discuss about in transportation what are the evolutions are occurred here. Mainly as we studied in transport system of different animals, organisms, so the circulatory system is play an important role in transportation of materials that takes place in body of animals. There is a gradual development of circulatory system from unicellular organism to multicellular organisms. So this is, we can see that in lower organisms like amoeba, euglena and paramecium, the transport system is less developed, whereas when you take a human being, the transport system or circulatory system is well developed. So underdeveloped are not developed the circulatory system or transport system we can see in unicellular organisms like amoeba, euglena, paramecium and other some of the lower organisms, primitive organisms. Whereas modern and organisms, when we observe the transport system or circulatory system, have evolved or developed very well. Now let us understand that how the nutrients and oxygen are transported in unicellular organisms. So if even though if the transport system is not developed well, but even though the transportation of the materials takes place by the different organs and different methods. Let us in unicellular organisms like amoeba, the protoplasm shows natural movements. These movements are called Brownian moments. This is most important in examination level. So Brownian, so in amoeba food materials are moved within the cell and which movements means Brownian movements. This type of movements already you will study in physical and chemistry. Brownian movements means it sol gel sol means here some materials will be transported to the converted into the another kind so that they can transport. So another material will be converted into in another way so that they may transport. So this type of while changing they may transport from one place to the another place. It is called Brownian movements we can say in unicellular organisms like amoeba. And which is the mainly here the protoplasm generally throughout the protoplasm nutrients are distributed. Next let us discuss about how transportation of materials takes place in sponges. In parazoans or porifera like sponges use the marine water for transportation. The sponges create their own currents by beating the flagella that are present in their body. It is very important. So by the flagella in the sponges, porifera or parazoans, the movement of the material should be takes place because the water currents are occurred. Next let us go to what is gastrovascular cavity. Gastrovascular cavity, which is seen in cnidarian like hydra, jellyfish have developed a blind shock like structure and a cavity and a cavity which take up the functions of digestion and transport of nutrients in each and every cell. This is most important. What is gastrovascular cavity? So we can see this is hydra and jellyfishes and this gastrovascular cavity which is said to be very shock like it is sac like structure and blind sac like structure cavity which take up the functions of to carry materials from one place to the another place. Now how the materials are transported in whereas platyhelminthes and nematohelminthes. Already let us take the example of platyhelminthes. Example for platyhelminthes, Tinea solium, fasciola hepatica. These are belongs to and platyhelminthes. Flat means what we can say, thin. Flat means thin. These worms, nothing but these are the non-vertebrates. They are very seems to be like a ribbon like animal, ribbon like structured organisms. Flatty means thin. So in this platyhelminthes phylum we can see that how the, so let us take fasciola hepatica, like this structure we can see, whereas in Tinea solium it is a ribbon like long tail like organism, Tinea solium, and this is the fasciola hepatica, this is the Tinea solium. Both are belongs to platyhelminthes itself name. In this kingdom, in this phylum, all the flat thin organisms are present. So in these organisms mainly the digestive system should take responsibility to transport of the materials. Why? Because in these organisms the digestive system is highly branched, and then the transportation is occurred in these platyhelminthes. Now let us in nematohelminthes. So example in nematohelminthes, what we can see, the worms. Nothing but worms means what we can say, example roundworms. We can see Uchararia bancrofti and Uchararia malaria. These are belongs to worms. So in these organisms, which one should play major role means pseudopodia, which play major pseudocoelom, very important, sorry for this, pseudocoelom, a false cavity which is formed in their organism, it is called pseudocoelom. Pseudo means false. This is keep in our mind, pseudocoelom, which participate in nematohelminthes transport. So mainly next go to that another kind of organisms, annelids. We know that example of annelids, earthworm. So here example for annelids, what, earthworm. Already you know that earthworm, it is called farmer's friend. Why? Because it prepared the manure to the field. So in and also another example for annelids phylums, we can say example earthworm as well as leech means jalga. Already you know that earthworm means vanapam. Both are belongs to annelids. In these annelids, how the transportation is occurred means eucoelomate. Because of they are eucoelomates, there will be a special organ which is a pulsatile vessel. This vessel should play a major role transportation of the food material in the annelids. So next here there is another technical term here which we hear, and the examination are also very important. That is you can see that what is open circulatory system. So open circulatory system means the blood flows in the body out of the blood vessels. Means some of the organisms like arthropods, like cockroach, you take insects. In this pulsatile organ to pump the blood through the heart. The blood, instead of flowing in the blood vessels, blood flows through the in body cavities, not in blood vessels. That is keep in our mind. In arthropods, blood flows in the cavities, not in blood vessels. Because of blood flowing in cavities, because of blood is flowing in open places, in open spaces in the organism of insects, cockroaches. So this is type of circulatory system is called open type of circulatory system. So blood flows in the cavities but not in the blood vessels. This type of flowing is called open circulatory system, which we can see insects and cockroach and arthropods, we can see that. Whereas here they given already examples: cockroach, housefly and mosquito. All insects consist of open circulatory system. This is you have to keep in our mind. Example. Next, another question we have, what is a closed circulatory system? So in this, blood flows in the blood vessels. This is very important. Easily you can remember. If the blood flows within the blood vessel is called closed circulatory system, which we can see other organisms except arthropods, and we can see in highly developed organisms we can see that this closed type of. Why? Because close means blood flowing inside the pipes nothing but here blood vessels. So inside the blood vessels blood is flowing, hence the blood is moving inside the pipes, like that is called blood vessels, hence it is called a closed type of circulatory system, which we can see octopus, echinodermate and annelids, and like molluscus and higher chordates. In these organisms we can see the closed circulatory system. Now let us go to that about write the differences between open circulatory system and closed circulatory system. Very simple. In open circulatory system, blood flows in the cavities, body cavities, whereas in closed circulation blood passes through the blood vessels. It is called closed circulatory system. It is called open circulatory system. Example, open circulatory system example, what? Arthropods, insects. Whereas closed circulatory system, annelids, echinodermate and octopus and vertebrates like caves, birds, mammals. In these we can see closed circulatory system. Next, explain the evolution of circulatory system from lower organism to higher organisms with suitable examples. So just now, first of all, we taken the amoeba. Next, we taken sponges. Next, we taken after amoeba, sponges, and we taken hydra, that is Nidaria. Hydra we taken, and through the flagella. And let us clearly know that have a glance. Now I will try to explain evolution. First they given amoeba, and second they given example amoeba belongs to protozoa phylum, and another they given sponges which belongs to phylum Porifera, and another example they given hydra which belongs to Nidaria, and whereas another example after that they given platyhelminthes, and example Fasciola hepatica tenuisolium, and when you take the nematihelminthes, and they given roundworms, and whereas other they given arthropods. So in these, let us take in amoeba Brownian moments, in sponges what we can say special organ Gastrovascular cavities, and what we can see that here in sponges there will be a flagella, whereas in Nidaria like jellyfishes and have gastrovascular cavities, whereas in platyhelminthes we see in the digestive system, whereas in nematihelminthes they given here, and how the transportation is occurred means pseudocoelom, whereas in annelids mainly which one is play a major role, pulsatile vessel, and whereas in arthropods we can see that body cavities should play a major role, open type of circulatory system we seen, and whereas in other animals we seen that about closed circulatory system. So this is the evolution from amoeba, Brownian moments, sponges like body cavities, and that is hydrilla, gastrovascular cavities, platyhelminthes like digestive system, nematohelminthes like pseudocoelom, annelids, eucoelomates, and mainly pulsatile vessels should play major role. So this is the answer to the second. And next, third, write the different phyla, their animals and their circulatory system. So just draw a table and put a 3 columns, and here you mention that phylum name, and you mention that here animal name, and the type of circulatory system means open or close. So here let us take the phylums, means protozoa, porifera, cnidaria, platyhelminthes, nematohelminthes, annelids, mollusca, arthropod, echinodermates. So here amoeba, Brownian moments with pseudopodia, cnidaria, we seen that about cnidaria mainly that is sponges in flagella, and we seen that platyhelminthes like organisms in that the transportation is occurred by the digestive system, nematohelminthes like pseudocoelom, and whereas what we can say in arthropods open type of annelids it is mainly the transportation is occurred by the pulsatile vessel, and whereas in another type of organisms we can see that about this is whereas in arthropod open type of circulatory system, in except other organisms like molluscans, echinodermate, and what we can say chordates like caves, mammals, birds, and human being. In these organisms mainly closed type of circulatory system, we can see that about in highly developed. Now let us answer the fourth question. Here match the following the given. Pseudocoelom, where we can see pseudocoelom, we can see that roundworm. Brownian moments we can see amoeba, and so that answer like this: pseudocoelom, roundworm, amoeba, Brownian moments. Closed circulatory system, human being. Open circulatory system, cockroach. So the answer you can see easily A for 4, where it is here answer. This is the right answer. So next go to that the main functions of gastrovascular cavity is digestion and transportation. This is about evolution in the transport system. When we take an about chordates and non-chordates like phylums like protozoa, porifera, cnidaria, nothing but cylindrates, platyhelminthes, nematohelminthes, annelids, arthropods, mollusca, echinodermata. So all these are non-vertebrates, means do not have in these organisms any backbone, whereas vertebrates means backbone having animals like fishes, amphibians, reptiles, aves, mammals. Fishes already you know that, amphibians means frogs, reptile means snakes, aves means birds, and mammals in that human being. In this evolution is closed type of circulation, we can see that is closed type of circulation, whereas in this maximum in arthropod up to arthropod we seen that open type of circulatory system.